The new bill introduced on July 13th in both the Senate and the House is called the Unborn Child Support Act and would amend the Social Security Act to give mothers the ability to receive child support payments while they are pregnant. And men are furious about this. Men are so upset about this. It makes so much sense. Be upset that you would have to pay child support for a child that you helped create while it's in the womb of the woman. Do you know how difficult pregnancy is? Do you know how expensive just being pregnant is?
I'm not gonna lie, Dad. She's making some valid points. Pregnancy is a very difficult process for a lot of women, as you know, because you have children. It's a very difficult process for a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing that I don't like about this is, how do you know who the dad is?
See, these women like this, right? That just come right out and say, this is something good, what have you. And then start talking about the pregnancy, how difficult a pregnancy is for a woman. I don't know how difficult a pregnancy is for a woman. I can only imagine, and judging from some of the things that I've seen, like movies and stuff like that I've seen on TV, or women go, hollering and stuff like that. I know they act and stuff like that, but I'm sure something like that goes on in real life too, because prior to all of the modern technology they have now, as far as women having babies and stuff like that, there, have been a history of women, dying, giving birth. So I'm not taking that lightly. The thing I have a problem with is this Unborn Child Support Act. That's what I have a problem with. Because with this Child Support Act, okay, first of all, let me just back up a little bit. They say the Republicans are responsible for this, okay, which they are, because they're the ones that are pushing this. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that reverse Roe versus Wade.
Hold on, Dad. I want her to continue so we can respond to what she's saying.
Yeah, but I mean, we can let her talk. But I'm just saying, they're the ones that reverse that. But let's continue on. Let's hear.
Yeah, because she might say something that makes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, I don't want you to say something beforehand and then
let her go ahead.
Respond to you.
Yeah, let her go ahead.
Doctor's appointments, everything that we have to go through. Do you understand all that? But y'all are upset. Y'all are upset that if you get a woman pregnant, you might have to start paying child support right away. But you're not upset that we're having our rights taken away from us. You're not upset that we don't have any rights to our body. That doesn't upset you. No. Paying for the child that you put in the woman's womb upsets you.
Oh my goodness.
Please make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Like what? What? How? How the fuck? How? Like, why? Why are you upset? You got somebody pregnant. So why shouldn't you be issued to pay? Like, what? We don't get to go have an abortion if we don't want said pregnancy, right? So we have to be stuck carrying this pregnancy that we didn't want, even though we were on birth control, we tried condoms, nothing worked, we fell pregnant. So now we have to carry it to term even though we don't want it. And you guys just think that you shouldn't have to fucking do anything during those 9 months? Y'all just get to skate free and not do shit?
She actually sounds like somebody who doesn't like men. Like, she don't sound like somebody that's just, like, logically thinking through the process, which a lot of women don't logically think through a lot of things anyway. Mm. But she just, honestly, she truly sounds like a feminist woman who actually does not like men. Like, she dislikes men. Like, she probably is not even attracted to men.
Either that or she's just a bitter woman. You know, she could just be straight up that too. She could be a feminist that just don't like men, or a straight up bitter woman. They're both synonymous. You know, they are. And so that's why it's so hard to tell which one is she.
But do you agree with what she's saying as far as like how difficult it is for them? I know you addressed this, that you don't know how difficult it is for them.
I don't know how difficult it is, but I do know how easy it would be. It's going to be for them right now.
Easy. Yeah, it's going to be easy for them.
It's going to be easy for them to label. They could tag any man as being the father. See, according to this new bill, there's no DNA testing until after 9 months, until after the child is born. And the reason why they say that, because the Senate, the Republicans put in this clause, they put in this little thing, the bill that they're presenting is that they're going to leave it up to the mother either to accept a DNA or not. They're leaving the choice up to her. And they're saying that the risk, there could be, because of the risks involved, the mother has the choice whether to say whether she's going to take the DNA test or not. But now, if you check out the risks, if you look it up, I'm not going to go into detail on that. The risk is very, 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 very minute, very small. But they put that in there, to kind of give the woman more power. And the reason why I say the risk is very small, because what happens is when they do a DNA testing on a woman that's pregnant, they draw the blood from the woman, and then they take the DNA they separate the DNA from in the blood in the lab. They separate the DNA and then do the match and see if it's a match with the father. What kind of risk is that? But they put that in that bill. See, these guys, they trying to cover up their butts to make themselves look good, because they took the rights away with women to pro-choice, and they giving them this. Do you know with this bill that any man, they can just label any man, point out any man as the father, and he has zero rights until that child is born. So he has to pay child support. Now, let's say, for instance, the mother is 9 months or 10 months. The woman is 9 to 10 months. And she decides that, okay, you know what? It's him. He's the one that did it. And she's 10 months pregnant. Do you know what?
10 months pregnant?
Yeah.
9 months pregnant?
I mean, not 10 months. She's 8 months pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Let's say she's 7 months pregnant. I said 10 months pregnant. Let's say she's 7 months pregnant or 5 months pregnant. What the courts will do, and she'll get that guy's name to the courts, and they will charge that particular man with child support. But here's the thing: because she waited 5 months, because she named him as the father, they were prorated all the way back to the very first month. When they get the prenatal information from the doctor saying, well, when this child was conceived, they go all the way back to that date. So the man don't have. And here's another part. This is another part about it. There's no repercussion to the woman if she point out a man and he's not the father after she has the baby and they do the DNA. And she doesn't have to pay all that money back to the man. You know what I'm saying? But yet, women with mentalities like this, they think that, oh yeah, now that's right. This should be like this. But what she's not talking about all the other stuff within that bill that benefits them. So basically, the man has zero power if they go through with this.
So what if a female claims you child support? She's on her first month and she claims you child support. You get a random mail that says you gotta pay child support, and then you say, man, that ain't my baby, and you know it ain't your baby because you never did nothing with her, but she's just doing that. And you wait till the baby's born to take a DNA test. Maybe that's the way to get around it. Like, if you're not the dad.
There's no getting around it.
I'm saying, like, if you take a DNA, if you don't pay child support at all, you know what I'm saying? Unless they garnish your wages, but you don't pay child support at all for them 9 months, and you wait till after the baby's born to take a DNA test, and then once they realize that's not your baby, all those payments will be expunged.
Of course they will.
I'm saying, so maybe that's a way to get around it if you know that you're not the dad.
You're not going to get around it. Because if you don't pay, if you don't follow the rulings of the court and you don't pay, like say a woman just randomly pick you up, you're the dad, and you don't follow the court's judgment as far as you paying, you either going to jail, they're taking away your license, or whatever. But more than likely, you're going to jail. They're going to lock you up.
No, can't have that happen.
No, that is what they're pushing. This is what these, and I don't like politics. I don't like politics. I really don't like talking about it. But these are the daggone Republicans because they're trying to clean up their doodle, so to speak, with the females. That's what they're trying to do. So they're trying to make themselves look good after reversing the pro-choice rule, because you got pro-life and pro-choice.
So you know what that means? Men needed to stop having so much random sex with women.
But it doesn't matter. See, this is the scary part about this bill, son. The scary part about this bill is that any woman can name you as the father.
Yeah.
And then that's all they need is your name. They could be lying. All they need is your name. Take it to the court system or the child support agency or whatever and say that I had sex with you. And you're the father. You can refute that all you want. I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some laws passed in the future that that amends some of those things in that bill. Like basically, some things just ain't right. Like you mean tell me they have no repercussions? They just randomly pick somebody. I feel like that's gonna be amended.
Do your research. It might be amended, but it's not gonna be amended anytime soon. Probably not until those fools that's making up these bills are out of office. And then, re-election time, you got the midterms and you got the presidential term elections, and let's say all them fools are out of office, and then they can amend it and go back and amend whoever is in there, to change that law, to change that bill. Well, the bill once it becomes a law, it's a law, you know what I'm saying? So, this is crazy. Men are having their rights taken away completely. We're just being these fools on Capitol Hill make the decisions, and we got to pay for it as men. This is ridiculous. It really is. It's ridiculous. It really is. So this is like another beatdown of men having any form of, justice when it comes to our rights. It's like we don't have any rights now.
They found out a way through litigation, legally, to give weak women, because women are weaker than men. Women aren't strong at all in comparison to men. Like if it weren't for the laws and stuff like that, if you look at other countries, women don't have they're not strong enough to do anything as far as like stand up against the man in the structure of the government.
You talking about as far as what, the physical?
Physically, yeah, that is physically they're not a threat. So they found legal ways to give women who are physically weaker than us, and in any other country around the world that's not European, that's not Eurocentric, these women who are weaker than men, they don't have all that power. These women have a false sense of power. They really think they're powerful because of all the laws that give them power, and they're so weak. And I'm not saying that as an insult.
You're basically talking about the survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
When it comes to the real survival of the fittest, without all of the modern technology, without all of the convenience of the world, when they go down to bare minimum of survival, yes, they are the weaker vessel. They are the weaker because their bodies cannot take what our bodies can take. Our bodies are meant to take hardship, out there in the world, in the environment. Our bodies are built to get beat up by the environment, and we just keep on going. Women are not built that way. Now, you might have a few that take, and I'm talking about, be a genetic thing where though they might have more male testosterone. And I'm not talking about steroids or hormone injections. I'm talking about some might just be that way. Oh yeah, 1 in a million or one, whatever can handle that. But I'm just talking about across the board as far as just general. Most women, the majority of women are not built for survival. They're built to have babies. They survive in that. They say if a man was to have a child, he wouldn't be able to handle it. I agree with that. I get a paper cut and I'll cry. Now, I don't cry. I'd be like, hey, man, when that mom going to heal? Yeah. It hurts.
I got one right here.
But when it comes to, stuff like a tree falling on us and stuff like that, our chance of survival of a tree falling on us is a hell of a lot greater than if a tree fall on one of them. You see what I'm saying? I'm just using that tree as an example. And not a big tree though.
But you're talking about from survival, but I'm also talking about just in general that, like, if you look at like all across the, like, let's look at the Arabic countries, let's look at the African countries and stuff like that.
Right.
I know in the Arabic countries, like, the women don't have like women, basically, put it this way. Women in this country, in America, have so much power, and they're so arrogant about it. They're so cocky because they have the law backing them. But the only reason they got that power is because men have given it to them.
That's true. That's true.
They don't have power on their own. And that's what I'm saying. And I think it makes me angry that women are walking around. It's kind of like a certain type of people, certain community of people who think they on top.
Yeah.
Because the world is set up for them.
Yeah.
And it's like an illusion. They really think that they're the greatest type of people.
Greatest thing that walked the earth.
Yeah, but they're not. And it's like, that's how I feel it is for women. Women, they have so much power backed by law that they really think that they're like special. They really think they're amazing and powerful. And they're amazing in other ways, but not in the ways that they think they are. And that's what I think frustrates me, because it comes on, because the consequences of that mess up men's life. Because they don't know how to handle, they've never, women all throughout history, from what my understanding, have never had so much power. So they don't know how to manage it.
But
they need to be destroying dudes' lives. They be taking the fathers out of the kids' lives and doing all type of stuff. That's not even smart.
But see, that is not smart at all. But you got women, women in the Western countries are soft.
Yeah, softer, yeah.
Very soft. They don't have the hard life of women like in third world, so-called third world countries. Those women have to be tough.
Soft? Oh, you said these women are soft?
They're soft.
In America? Oh.
They're soft. They're pampered. They're soft. They're soft. I'm talking about survival.
Yeah.
Those women in other countries, when it comes to survival, yes, they don't have the means of, taking out a man or, controlling everything and stuff like that. I agree with that. But when it comes to like survival, women in the Western countries are pampered. I mean, not all. Some that'll be trained to survive out in the wilderness off the grid and stuff like that. I'm not talking about those type. I'm just talking about the ones that
in general.
In general, yeah.
Because those are the exceptions you're talking about.
Yeah, it's exceptions, Yeah. But yeah, they're getting too much, and it's because it's handed to them, and it's being abused right now, and of course men are making these laws and they are pushing this, and I don't know, the men are like, I can imagine what men are feeling now, especially with this. This is like this bill right now is like we're being crapped on.